This week continues to be a little strange with who we're supporting, which actually this week we should keep in like a time capsule.
Okay.
Because it shows that we can put our previous discrepancies aside and evaluate moving forward fairly. Earlier today, we complimented David Tepper. I never thought I'd see the day. We complimented the NFL offices. I never thought I'd see the day. And now I'm going to compliment Jim Phillips, the commissioner of the ACC, a person who I've disagreed with and I've nudged in different directions than he's gone multiple times. But better late than never, he's showing some fight. Jim Phillips talked to the Associated Press about the future of college sports, the future of the ACC, the ongoing litigation and lawsuits, and for once he didn't compliment everybody. For once it wasn't everybody's working towards a common goal. For once he showed some fight. Right? It's the you're not going to push me around. Finally. Now, he did say, I have a bunch of quotes here in front of me. I'll read some of them for you. Jim Phillips to the Associated Press. There's going to be a reset in college sports, and it's okay. It doesn't mean it's going to be the end of college sports by any means. It's going to look different. That was right near the top of the article, and I went, all right, this is going to be a traditional Jim Phillips article. It's going to be a traditional Jim Phillips interview, and we're just going to get a lot of, oh, no, we're excited about the future of the ACC. We're excited. Oh, we're not worried about expansion. Oh, we're not worried about NIL. Oh, no, it's all great. Gumdrops, butterflies, rainbows, warm chocolate chip cookies.
Down for that.
And then they brought up in the article, there was actually like a break. There was like a new headline, new title, like Chapter 2. They brought up the legal fights with Florida State and Clemson. Right, the fact that the ACC is fighting legal battles with members of its own conference in 3 different states: Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina. And this is where Jim Phillips earned my praise. Quote from Jim Phillips: "We're going to fight it with every effort that we can. With what has been agreed upon twice, the grant of rights deserves to be executed, and so we have taken that position." End quote. I love that. I love that you are not afraid to look at Florida State and Clemson and say, we're going to fight back. We're not going to settle out of court. We're not going to take the easy way out. We're not going to let you bully us. We're not going to have, remember Florida State posting all those, oh, look at the TV ratings, games of Florida State and the top whatever of ACC. Phillips is saying yes, and what does that mean to me? He continued from Jim Phillips to the Associated Press. So we're going to fight. I'm going to fight. And the courts will ultimately decide. And we believe that everybody knows what was in that contract back then, and it was celebrated, and people were excited. A new network, meaning ESPN. We just lost Maryland, and it was a chance for unity and togetherness and the rest of it. Them's be fighting words. Because every legal challenge that Florida State and Clemson has to do with the legitimacy of the grant of rights. In no uncertain terms right there, he says, not only did you sign it, you celebrated it. Now you're saying it's something that you didn't agree to, or it's something that's unlawful, or it's something that's against this or against that. Mm-hmm. Not only were you a willing participant, you were a cheerleader for it.
Yeah, you liked it.
And now, because someone else got something better, you want to go change it. And no, we're going to fight. I like that he said it in 2 different ways. He said, so we're going to fight. Next sentence, I'm going to fight. Jim Phillips has started taking some of this personally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure he was rooting for Florida State when they were the last team standing in Omaha. I think he's taking this a little personally. Publicly, I'm sure he would say, no, and he did in this article. He said, oh, no, we were rooting for Florida State. It doesn't change anything on the field. I think it does.
Okay, so that's how it's going to be.
He said off the field, the lawsuits are damaging to the league and harmful to the league.
He's not wrong there.
He's not wrong at all.
He's not wrong at all. He's dead on with that.
This is what needs to happen. You need to let Florida State and Clemson know, even if it's like a half bluff, you need to let them know there is no easy way out of this. It'll be expensive. It'll be drawn out. We'll appeal everything. We'll spend the necessary money. We'll pay the lawyers billable hours. The only way you get out of the ACC is by doing exactly what is drawn out in the grant of rights, which is paying the exit fee, paying the penalty, paying the $500 million, or winning in court, which might cost you darn near as much. Right? It's it's, you know this show, you're going to get movie references. It's the speech from Gus D'Amato, a.k.a. Al Pacino, in Any Given Sunday. In any fight, it's the one who's willing to fight and die for that inch. This is the ACC saying, we'll die. Right? Win this fight or die trying. The only questions Phillips didn't want to answer, and this was noted in the article, the only questions Phillips didn't want to answer were about the degree to which the ACC would embrace funding from private equity and whether the ACC might consider selling its own name rights. So if we might one day have the Chick-fil ACC. He wouldn't address that, which I actually even kind of like, because if you address that, it becomes part of the headline.
Yeah.
If you say, well, we are considering selling our naming rights, and the Big 12 already has come out and said they're going to do it, and we're going to entertain that as well, and maybe we're already in talks with a couple of big, trillion-dollar companies. If he would have said, yeah, well, you know what, we are exploring the financial viability of taking private equity into either our conference or individual schools, that becomes part of the headline. By not addressing those, by simply saying, you're looking at all areas of revenue, but we're not discussing any of that at this time, it makes the headline, Jim Phillips tells Florida State and Clemson he is going to fight in court. It makes the headline, no settlement is coming, no amicable departure, no, all right, fine, if you pay $300 million, you can get out. It is going the distance. And I think that's the best thing you can do for the ACC. And as I said at the beginning, I'm not sure if I agree that every move that's been made over the last 5 years has been in the best interest of the ACC. This is the way you handle it. You posture, you stand tall, and you say, I don't care if you're Florida State. I don't care, Clemson, if you have 2 national championships in the last decade. And we're talking football there. I don't care. You're members of the ACC. You signed a completely lawful contract willingly twice. And if you don't respect it, you can expect to hear from our lawyers again and again and again and again and again until a judge tells us we're not allowed to contact you anymore. Till we get that, to use the sports analogy, till it's 000 on the clock.
A lot of billable hours.
The real winner, like I'm acting like the ACC is the real winner here. The real winner is the law firms.
Oh, the attorneys? Absolutely.
That would be a lot of money from 2 very rich organizations that have it to spend.